I pray. I pray, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? I tithe religiously, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? And then I read this book and realized maybe I wasn't listening.
Contrary wins. For those who want to give up but need to know greater is coming. Buy now on He Did Not Forget
What up, y'all? So a lot of people have been asking me how to get their music on my brand Vile Hip Hop News. I think I got away. I'm going to start doing music video reactions for independent artists. If you're interested, email me at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com for details.
Real quick, we think about the Marlon Wayans Vlad controversy. Vlad went in. Apparently, I guess Marlon Wayans wanted $40,000 for a Vlad interview. Vlad didn't want to pay it. He started showing his interviews compared to Marlon's interviews, which had way more views. And he pretty much said, I can't recoup off this, so I'm not going to pay you that. And then the verbal slander attack started going wild. He started calling Marlon out, calling him all different types of gays and this, that, and the third. And even yesterday, Marlon was like, I'm going on Shannon Sharp's podcast. I'm going to all your enemies. What's your thoughts on their feud, man?
What's my thought on their feud? One, no one's recouping $40,000 worth of interview. Let's just call it nuts and bolts as it is. I mean, that you have to really, like, okay, for somebody to recoup for $40,000, the amount of views they would have to do on that one interview would have to be crazy.
Millions.
Crazy for them to recoup that kind of money. Now, 2020, 2021, I don't believe that Vlad would have a problem paying Marlon or anybody else $40,000. Why? Because competition around that time was getting heavy. People realized that it wasn't just Vlad out here doing interviews. It wasn't just Vlad's platform that people were patronizing and really starting to kind of get into. And Vlad had some serious competition out here. So what did Vlad do? Him and among other people started throwing out money to people for them to exclusively come on their platform. This we know. So now you fast forward years later and Vlad is crying because you got people that look like him, sound like him, got the same mic EQ, got the same lighting pretty much looks like the same template.
Right.
And now his numbers aren't the same. And no, he is not recouping $40,000 worth of interview here in 2024. So now he's crying. He's crying because now people are on his head when it comes to numbers, when it comes to views, when it comes to status. He is no longer the Ace Boon Coon when it comes to quote-unquote hip-hop content. And now he's feeling butthurt about it. And hate to say I told you so, but we told you so. As far as Marlon Wayans is concerned, yeah, the Shay Shay's cool. That's the easy one.
Right.
I challenged Marlon to see if he would throw that $40,000 tab on any other platform. Any independent black platform that you know don't got $40,000. Again, I'm not just talking about us. Any of them that are worth your time, worth your, you know what I mean, worth the time to go in and speak on, that's going to give you an honest and real interview. Will they get the same $40,000 tab? Because if they would, then all of this is bullshit. Because if Vlad would have given you the money, all the shit you said wouldn't have mattered because you would have sat there and did the fucking interview anyway.
Of course.
And that's what I just, you know what I mean? It's bullshit,
Right.
in my opinion.
And I think that when the pay-for-play started coming into place, it started eliminating platforms. And the people that started getting paid would not do interviews without getting paid anymore. So when you did that, you're not necessarily going to the greatest platform or the best, the people that's going to give you the best interview, actually the best questions, and do the best journalism. You're going to whoever the hell that can pay you. And to me, that messed up the game because now you're just going to any old, somebody who got some money and giving them an interview, building them up. Meanwhile, other people get to suffer because they ain't got the money to afford your ass. And that's how, I'm not mad at the fact that people that you have to pay. I'm just like, it turned into a situation now where the people that's getting paid won't do anything now. They think they so high and mighty that if you ain't offering them a bag, they ain't responding no more. And that's not the game that we came into. The game that we came into was like, all right, yo, these dudes is fire. They asked some good questions. They got a good platform. I like their vibe. I'm going to rock out with them. Now it's like you hit somebody up. It's like, man, I ain't, how much you got? How much I got? You want 4,000, 5,000, 40,000? Are you sick? This is a business too at the end of the day. We ain't just sitting in our mama's living room, our mama's basement, conjuring up content, and whatever we make. No, we got things to pay, bills to pay, people to pay, things that got to be done, children to take care of. So it's a business for us too. $40,000. I think that Vlad could probably just break even probably now, possibly. because remember, he's cutting the content up.
You know how to make that money back.
Right. But you don't want to just break even. If you're spending 40, you want to make 200, 300, 400,000 off that interview. That's just what it is, in this industry. So I'm not mad at that. But it's ridiculous. When we had people give us prices that we had on for free one time, it's like, yo, hold on. It's one hand wash the other because you're getting something too. You're not just coming to a no-name platform that nobody knows. You're getting exposure. And all the people, when we interviewed the Lunels, the Faison Loves, and all these different people that Vlad would interview, we did great numbers with these people over the years. So we're putting you out in front of millions of people as well. You ain't just coming here for a 500 view interview and walking off. No, you're getting 300, 400, 500,000 views, and that's giving you exposure and still actually putting money in your pocket because now people get to see you. Now they want to book you for shows. Now they see, okay, you're popular, you're talking. And people have told us that. I came on y'all shit and everybody's coming up to me saying, I seen you this and seen you that. So it's one hand wash the other, in my opinion. And I think in closing that, Vlad, this is a monster that he created that he has to deal with. He created the monster. He was the multimillionaire. He started earlier than everybody else. So, shout out to him. He pretty much put the blueprint down for a lot of people, do what they do. But with that, it's competition now. So you created that monster.
Don't cry about it now. Let me ask you this. Let me see if you agree, and people, y'all let me know. I feel like ever since this came into play, it almost dumbs down the interview too. Like interviews aren't the same because you got on one hand somebody that got the bag, so they good. On the other end, somebody that just paid the bag feels like they could ask the most disrespectful, most raunchiest question, and we don't get to enjoy a good interview anymore. Damn. We don't get to get into the nuts and bolts. We're not intrigued the way we used to be 6, 7, 8 years ago by what somebody has to say. We're not going to sit down for 40, 50, 60 minutes worth of an interview. All we want to hear is the bullshit, and that's the only thing that's publicized. Sometimes we don't even get to hear the full interview. We hear nuts and bolts of the bullshit, and that's the only thing that gets publicized. So, okay, I just gave you $40,000, so I essentially just sold my soul to you. So now you have the license to ask me any old ignorant shit you want, and this is where we're at. No, there's more. There's deeper layers to stories. And we've had the blessings and the opportunities to sit down with some of the most legendary people in this game and hear their story and give that to y'all. And we're not the only ones. There used to be tons. We don't see the big boy Black Sam type interviews anymore because you got Vlads and other people going out here paying money and asking somebody. If Black Sam would have done an interview with Vlad, we would have heard nothing more than Nipsey's death. How much did you hustle? How much did you make? How much did you get on the street? This, that, and the third. We wouldn't have got the nuance of that, the story.
That's a good point.
And I think when this whole game kind of came into play, it dumbed it down. It dumbed it down completely. What it also did was it made the people being interviewed think, oh, I can do this. Let me get my own podcast. Or let me get on my phone and create my own narrative. When there was platforms that allowed you to sit back and tell your whole story the way you wanted to. It was a perfect give and go. You cannot have a championship basketball team without a good-ass point guard and somebody for that point guard to distribute the rock to. Now y'all want to be the point guard, the center, the foul forward, the fucking coach, the cheerleaders. Y'all want to be it all. And it fucked the game up, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a very good point. A lot of people that we brought on here now do their own thing. And it's like, are you doing this because you got a passion for it? Or are you just trying to make a quick buck off of it? And majority of the time, it just don't last for them because it wasn't a passion. They do it for a little bit, and then they fall off because they say, oh, who are these dudes? These nobody do. Oh, man, shit, I could do this shit. Let me go do it. I ain't messing with them. I'm just going to copy their formula now.
Do it myself.
Do what they do.
Yep.
And it's just like, damn. But whatever, man. In business, it's always ever-changing. In business, it's always going to be competition. So you just got to learn to evolve or die, and that's what people got to do. So
I challenged Marlon Wayans to do exactly what you said and go to Vlad's competition. And I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be a $40,000 tab behind that, but just if you really care about this culture and you're the superhero that you claim to be when you're going through this back and forth with Vlad, then really put your money where your mouth is, and let's see, because you ain't. Yeah, he's a villain, but you ain't no superhero in this situation either. Not yet.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Not yet, bro.
Definitely, but nah, man, definitely appreciate. You got anything else?
Nope.
Good. Yeah, appreciate everybody listening to this episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. That's your brother Sam Ant, Borrow Hip Hop News, on your brother O God Hip Hop News Uncensored. Together, we are the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out.
Peace.